to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And I am back once again. It is a Monday afternoon today, actually, and I'm here tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And I have to apologize. I did not, as a few of you let me know, I did not release the podcast yesterday, and that's frankly because I didn't record one. I have been promising my wife that I would get some honeydew stuff done around the house, and I had to replace a kitchen sink. I had to help do some replumb some stuff. I had to go hang some ceiling fans, and so the day kind of got away with me. And by the time I actually had time to come and do it in the evening, I just didn't want to do it. And today, my morning was jam-packed with appointments. So I'm sorry you didn't get it, but you're going to get it today. Now, I also have a podcast that goes out on Monday mornings, and it didn't get done either. You will get that tomorrow. I'm just running a day behind. Once I get yesterday's podcast recorded today and released today, and then tomorrow morning I will get today's podcast done for Monday on the Tuesday, and then we should be set to go for Wednesday and back on track. But I will tell you, that has been a very good run for me. We're going close on, like 2 months now? Almost 2 months? Where you guys are getting 3 podcasts a week. So that's not too shabby, okay? If my life gets in the way of this free service that I provide for you, then so be it. That's going to happen every now and then. A happy wife is a happy life, right? Got to get some stuff done. So what has been going on here? Well, as we wait for spring to finally get here, it's pretty warm this week so far. I just starting the academies, the women's and men's academies that I always talk about. I had a big a big work team meeting on, I can't even talk. Why am I even doing the podcast today? Meeting or a group come in on Thursday, and they were here for about 6 hours, and they did some team building. That's what I'm looking for, team building group. And Magnum came down and helped me with that, and we had a good time. It was windy as I've never seen before. It was blown well, I have seen it before. I live in Idaho, but it was probably our first really windy day that we had, and we're not even in spring yet, but it was windy. If it hadn't been windy, it would be actually a pretty nice day. We started them off with some basics, a great group of guys, all different levels of shooters. We had a good time. It was cold, though. My God, it was cold. So cold outside. Windy. Cold, about the temperatures, I don't know, maybe upper 30s. And but man, we had a great time. Taught them how to draw from a holster. We did some steel challenge work. We did some basic fundamental type drills out there. We had a good time. Everyone left, and we were just beat up at the end of the day because of the wind. So if any of them are listening to the podcast, I did enjoy them coming out. I know they had a good time as well. At least I hope they did. And so yeah, that was that class. And so then I had Saturday morning, my elite group that I talk about. This was their first. They're one of the men's academies. They met for the first Saturday. This is the first Saturday of the year for them that they met, and it was cold too, man. They meet at 8:00 in the morning. They were here till about 10:00, and it was like see your breath cold out there. In fact, we took breaks. There's no wind, thank the Lord. We took breaks because hands were getting cold, magazines were getting hard to load, and I had them show up, and I had them do some warm-ups, and I had them do some structured warm-ups with a little bit of dot torture, a little bit of trigonometry drills, and then we went ahead and just set baselines. I had them draw and shoot. We took a time. I had them clear the plate rack. We took a time. I had them clear the Texas Star. We took time on that. So they did each of those 3 times, and we kept the best time. And I'm keeping a hold of these scores and these times, and they're going to compare. We're going to compare throughout the year. Now we have to do it again because this is actually a pretty good test. it was cold out, and there was layers and layers of clothing being worn. And the thing with this class is we do everything from concealment. We draw almost on everything, and they had to draw from concealment, right? We're not doing any of this open carry range holster type bull crap here. This is learn how to run your carry weapon. Learn how to draw from concealment. Learn how to do mag changes from where you'd carry your mags if you were out and about on the town, not neatly stowed on your belt because you're taking a class. Like none of that sissy crap here. We're drawing from concealment, and there's some of them had 3 or 4 layers of clothing on, and they had to appendix draw. A lot of them were, I think, they were all appendix. They were all carrying appendix. And so they had to draw. That was a good day. It was a really good day. Now, some of them on the draw and shoots and stuff like that were really, really fast. And this wasn't just draw and shoot into a torso-shaped target. This was draw and shoot into like a 6-inch circle. Now, we weren't that far away. We were like 4-ish yards. But still, that's pretty. I mean, that's we had some really fast draws. They were making some good times out there, and that is when they were drawing from concealment. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Like, and if it's just summer weather, just a t-shirt, that kind of thing. So I think they're going to be even quicker. And I was pretty impressed with their times. I was actually thinking today, and I'm going to make a bold statement. And it's going to be pretty bold. It just depends. But I'm thinking locally here, just local, because I'm just thinking about where I live, and I'm thinking about local. We talked about this before, but I'm thinking about like local law enforcement, stuff like that. And I'm thinking how as I walk, I've never seen a local law enforcement shoot, and I'm sure that there are some good shooters locally that are in law enforcement. I don't doubt that at all. But I'm looking at these 5 guys, and I'm looking at them draw and shoot, and I'm looking at them handle their guns and draw smooth and clean and quick and fast. And I'm like, I bet you these guys are better than most law enforcement that are employed locally here. And I don't know a lot of them. I know a handful of them. And it's not picking on law enforcement necessarily, but it's just going to say that as we strive to move forward with our gun rights and strive to keep these, and what do we hear people on the left say, or people that don't, not even people on the left, but anyone, a lot of people say, well, you're not responsible enough. You're not responsible enough, But law enforcement, where we can't carry our guns, law enforcement can carry theirs. There is a lot. I'm not saying everyone that shoots guns, but there is a chunk of people who are down to carrying guns, who carry guns every single day, that go out and train and go out and do what they need to do, that are very, very, very proficient when it comes to their guns. They're very, very proficient when it comes to drawing that gun safely and engaging a correct, solid target and taking an accurate shot. They really are. Now, there's also a good portion, just like in law enforcement, that are not. And unfortunately, they are the bad apples of the group, and they are the ones that don't want to train and won't go out and change their ways. And they're the ones that make it so everyone else is kind of punished, because we're just thought of as the stupid public, the stupid firearm owning public. These people just want to be, they're wannabe police officers, they want to be military, they want to be all this, they want to be that. Those are the people that make everyone else look bad. But the people that get out there and train, the people that get out there and put the time in, the people that can do this, I want to say that they're probably better. They're better than most law enforcement I know, better than most law enforcement I've seen. I know they're better than the military guys that come to my class and say, I'm from the military, I know how to shoot. They're way better than they are, like way better than they are. I've had some, guys that said they were military guys, and don't worry about me in your permit class. I'm from the military. Well, you might as well tell me you're from the government. I'm going to watch you like a hawk. You're probably the worst guy in class, or the most unsafe guy in class, and probably shooting the shittiest gun too, honestly. But that's my take on that. I am so excited about this elite group of guys. Like, they're good, they're fun. It is less stress on my end. And it's going to be fun, and they're going to challenge me. To keep them challenged is going to be a big job. And frankly, I think they just want to shoot a lot, and that's fine. That's what we're here for. But to keep them challenged and to look for things that they can improve on, which everyone has stuff they can improve on, me, them, everybody. But it's not just your basic stuff. I got to look deeper. I got to dig a little deeper to find stuff to talk to them about as far as what they can improve on. So it's I'm pretty excited. This is an out of the box group for me, an out of the box class, and it's a new step forward for me. It's not your normal my normal student, which is I just got a gun, I need to know how to shoot it type of thing. Which those are absolutely fantastic, but this group is different, and I am here for it. I really am. I am here for it. What else was I gonna talk about? I should have wrote it down. I sat here for 20 minutes thinking, going through my head, what should I talk about? What should I talk about? What should I talk about? And I do have something I want to bring up. Couple different things, just kind of quirky things on my end. What is it with the people? I have some people that, like, in the permit class, I got people that come in, and we have a blank piece of paper that we shoot at. Literally, it's supposed to symbolize center mass. It's the size of center mass. And it's on my speech at the very beginning is, if you need something to shoot at, you put a hole in that piece of paper right in the middle, and you got something to aim at the rest of the day. It's really that simple, right? And if you're not hitting that piece of paper with that first shot, then we need to figure that out, and we will help you figure it out. I promise you that. We will help you figure that out. We're only firing like 100 rounds, 98 rounds in that class. It's a handful of rounds, right? And I don't change out targets like every 20 rounds. I just don't. I mean, that would make the class go longer. So we're firing at a piece of paper. Shoot the middle of the piece of paper. Put a hole in the middle of that piece of paper. And maybe this is just me. I enjoy doing this. I'll put a hole with a bunch of rounds right in the same spot in the center of that piece of paper, center of that target. And I'll just keep shooting right through that hole. I have zero problems with that because I'm not spraying rounds all over the place. I got people that are like, can you hang me up a new target? And they've literally got like 10 rounds in there. Can you put me up a new target? No, I'm not going to hang you up a new target. And then they start shooting just at the corner over here, and then at the corner over here, then at the corner over. Just shoot the middle freaking target. Like, good Lord. Just shoot at the middle. Put the rounds through that quarter-size hole or that baseball-size hole. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, I don't understand people's thinking. Do what they want to do. I'm not going to hang new targets up in a permit class. Like, if it's a private class, yeah, I'll hang some targets up for you. But I hang a target up for you, I got to hang it up for 30 other people, and that's not going to happen. We don't have time for that. So another thing I wanted to bring up, and this is something that everyone cringes, and I can think of a handful of people right now that are going to cringe when I talk about this. And maybe I'm wrong. And there's a good chance I could be. I mean, I'll always admit there's always a chance I'm wrong. And if there is, tell me. I may not agree with you that I'm wrong. But you could always tell me that I'm wrong. And people will call me. In fact, I can hear my phone ringing now. Almost. And I haven't even talked about this yet. Let's talk about putting a red dot, an optic on your handgun and then co-witnessing. I don't understand this co-witnessing bullcrap. I really don't. I mean, I know what it is. Don't get me wrong. It's when you line the dot up and co-witness it with your front and rear sight to make everything like line up good. And so if the thought is being your optic goes down, you just like line your iron. I don't line your irons up. You're going to line your irons up anyway. Why the hell do I need to co-witness? I don't understand this whole co-witnessing crap. I hate it. I hate having my red dot over. I do not co-witness any of mine. If there are co-witnessed, it's by complete 100% accident, and I should probably go and change them because it annoys the hell out of me. Do what you want to do. You do you. I'm just talking about me right now. I hate co-witnessing. I hate putting that red or green dot over the top of the irons when their irons are all lined up and level. I put a freaking red dot on it so I don't have to use the freaking irons. I'm just throwing that out there. I put the red dot out there on there so I don't have to use the irons. Yes, some of my guns have with suppressor height sights. You know what? I also have a gun or two that I have put a red dot on, and guess what? I haven't put suppressor height sights on. I can't see my sights through my dot. And you know what? I don't really care. I really don't. I don't really care. It makes no difference to me. Well, Todd, what happens if you're in a gunfight and you lose your optic? I don't really care about that either. Chances are I'm close enough. I'll figure it out. Okay, I'll figure it out. This is a small percentage. In my brain, it is. It's just I don't care. I really don't care. If I've got suppressor height sights on, I'm just lining the damn sights up. In a gunfight, it's going to be pretty close. I'm going to be close enough. It probably isn't going to make that much of a difference if the shots aren't perfect, right? If the shot is just a little bit lower than where it's intended, it is going to hit. Now, that doesn't mean you need to go and you need to skimp on this. It's, Todd, you're talking to people. You're telling them shot placement doesn't matter and that they don't need to work on the fundamentals. They don't need to. That's not what I'm saying. Work on the fundamentals. Be able to shoot accurately. Make that stuff count, right? But co-witnessing just drives me insane. It doesn't drive me insane that people do it. I don't like it done on my guns. It annoys me. That annoys me. In fact, I threaten all the time. You can ask a bunch of the guys that help me out in my classes. I threaten all the time. I am just going to get my little bench grinder and I'm going to grind the front sight off this freaking gun. I talk about that constantly. Because it annoys me that I can see it. I need to look through that freaking window. In fact, some of your optics actually have a dot, and then you can switch from just a dot to an actual reticle. That reticle is the dumbest thing on the planet I hate reticles. It is so much going on. I am not very accurate with it. I don't like it. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe my eyes are weird. I don't know, but it's too much. I just need that single dot. And how does a red dot work? I don't know. There's no parallax. I know that. I've kind of read up on this to understand a few things. I don't understand. I don't know. I've graduated from Filer. I don't know. I don't get it. And I've had this discussion with a guy that's going to listen to this podcast probably as soon as I upload it. And I tell him, it's black magic. We don't ask questions. We just do it. That's all I need to know. It's black magic. We don't ask questions. It just works. That red dot can be anywhere in the screen there, and it will hit, right? It will hit. It'll hit. It'll work. Just go with it. What a random podcast today. I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry. It is what it is today. It's just me. There's not a lot of conversation back and forth here. I just couple things that were on my mind. The whole thing about being better than most law enforcement, right? I do think that. I do think that we are. It just is what it is. And the stupid red dot. The red dot thing, that bothers me. I don't know why. It just does. I'm kind of weird. Whatever. It is what it is. So I got a question for you. So I'm not a big AR guy. A statement for you, I guess. I'm not a big AR guy. I'm not a big rifle guy. I got two of them that I use, St. Victor's. They each got the exact same dots on them. I set them up the exact same way. Okay. And those dots are lined up, but guess what? They're not lined up with the front sights. The front sights are flipped down. I don't give a shit what those front sights look like. I don't line anything up there either. Am I wrong, or is that just me? Is that just how I train? I don't think I have to do it exactly like everyone else, as long as it works for me. You do you, I do me, and I think we're all good to go, honestly. But there you go. There's my big spiel. I will say I caught myself online the other day looking up some more 2011s. I'm really liking the 2011 platform. I am. It's not 1911s or 2011s, folks. I was looking around, poking around. I was thinking about getting another one, finding another one to get, but nothing out there really tickles my pickle. There's nothing that is right there. Now, there's some really high-end ones I would love to have, but I have a real hard time bringing myself to spend over $3,000. And I know I've talked about, I've spent up to $2,000. You get me over $3,000, and I'm just like, yeah, that's usually about half of what I got on my bank account, and I'm not doing that. That's a lot of money for a gun. Like it really is a lot of money for a gun. And I don't know if I can bring myself to spend that kind of money. I will say too, that if he's listening, I know Tiger, he's been on the podcast a number of times in the past, not recently, keeps wanting to come back on, and I'm really not ignoring him. I just kind of forget. because that's what I do. That's what I do best is I forget. He has put on, has hosted a bunch of run and guns back in Indiana and back east in those states back there. And he is putting on a special one. It's one that he's putting on, and he's inviting all his buddies. He's inviting his RO friends, all this stuff out to the special run and gun. And I will say, I do appreciate it, Tiger. He sent me an invite. He called me up, messaged me, said, "Hey, you should come out to this. I'll put you up. You got a place to stay. I got guns and everything you can use, and you just pay for your ammo and your flight, obviously." And man, I thought about it long and hard, and it's actually coming up this month, and I just can't make it work. Which kind of sucks because I've been trying to get to one of his running guns for a long time. And then the 1 year I had geared myself up to go, he had to go finish some schooling and some other stuff come up in his life, and that's fine. And he had to take care of it, so he did put it on that year. And I was like, are you kidding me? The 1 year I was going to go, but I just can't make it this year. Dude even looked up a plane ticket for me and told me how much it was. And it's really not too bad, but I can't make it. Time-wise, I just can't make it work. I'm sorry, Tiger, if you're finding out this way from listening to the podcast. I cannot make it out. I wish I could, and I really appreciate the invite. Thank you for always thinking of me and extending the invite to me. It was very gracious of you, and I do appreciate it. So, well, as I sit here and I look around at the notes that I do not have in front of me, I'm going to call it an end to this podcast. It was a short one, and it was late, and I dropped the ball this week, and I apologize. But if you like this, if you like me kind of ranty, which I am a little ranty today, but not as ranty as I could be, and I'm going to complain about something not even firearms related. I had to go give blood today, and I've never actually gone to give blood. This was a medical thing. They said, hey, you got to go shed some of this crap. This is blood. So I went and I gave blood. They told me I couldn't have any caffeine afterwards. What kind of bull crap is that? I got to wait till tomorrow morning to get caffeine? Yeah. Then they told me I couldn't even work out or exercise. And I'm like, frick, I didn't work out this morning either because I went and did a radio show instead. So anyhow, it kind of blew my whole afternoon out of the water. And I'm a little caffeine deprived, but it is what it is. Anyhow, we'll get back to it. I'll let you guys go. If you listen to the podcast, I appreciate it. Share it with your family, share it with your friends, and I will have a more organized podcast in a week. I promise. Bye.